Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you. We've got game 3 here against my man Anthony, and he's playing green purple Dofi as well. So we're both rocking the Doflamingo bling right now. And yeah, we have a pretty fantastic match here. Just trying to see if you know, I can do pretty well in the mirror matchup. I don't have too much experience, but it's one of those things that I've played like a couple of times, and it feels like it's pretty cut and dry. Just kind of have to, you know, find the right pieces and just be able to like out tempo and outdraw my opponent. Also, 10 drop is pretty dang handy in this matchup, and look at that, we do get one off the first life, but he puts down Nami and now passes it over for turn 2. So I think I'm probably going to get my own Nami if I had to take a guess. We'll swing 5 and then play our Nami down, getting a little search off, paying the 1. We are seeing an Uta as well as a 7-cost Luffy here. I think that since we already have one Uta, I think we actually have 2 Utas. We pick up the second Luffy, and I'll just go ahead and pass it back over. But guys, just wanted to say this. I'm going to show it up on the screen real fast. We did end up getting a win at our local store championship the other day. I'm super happy, super proud about it. We went 4-0, and yeah, it was super nice. A lot of fun games, and just wanted to pick up that Eustace Captain Kid card, and that was last night. So I will have like 2 matches from the 4 matches of that I'll just upload probably sometime this weekend. Some pretty good games, but overall, a lot of fun. And yeah, it looks as though he did play Sugar, rest my Nami. I ended up Pug Gibsoning his Nami, and then playing excuse me, swinging with Nami into his to search out another Luffy there, and then Spiderweb restands, but we do have 5 Dawn left, so I'll just go ahead and play the Uta. Sugar does rest it. I'm going to swing 1 into the Sugar, see if we get a 2k counter or not, and he does let it go. I would have swung with Doflamingo, just wanted to see, though, if we could potentially get a 2k counter and force out that 5k swing. But yeah, he's smart. He's like, yeah, I don't mind going down to 2 life. I want to get that Thunder Bagawa, get the ramp going, and he sure as heck does. He gets the ramp going, and now he's got 8 Dawn to work with. So he's going to use Nami to search out another Uta. Probably see like 7-cost Luffy coming down with Uta here, but I'm just going to counter out of this swing at Nami. He's more than likely just going to swing 1 more time as well. Yep, he does swing at the Uta. I just decide to let it go. It's already kind of done its job. I don't really feel like countering out too much, simply because we are lacking counter power in hand. But we didn't see the 7-cost Luffy this turn. He does use Nami to search out that Buena Festa. And then Sugar once more, which is super smart. I mean, that card is extremely annoying on, you know, what it is going to rest. And we actually had a pretty interesting moment here. I wasn't thinking this was something I would I'd have to go through as far as like a I don't know, kind of like a situation. But Sugar, because Sugar is a very interesting card. But with Nami, I think we pick up Buena here. Yeah. And now I'm going to play 7-cost Luffy here if I remember correctly. So we'll probably swing 5 with lead at the Nami. But he does choose to let that 5k go through. So I'll just go 5 at life here. And now I think what ends up happening is we play the 7-cost Luffy into the Uta. And now I'm interested. I think we ended up talking about it. Like, I think Luffy's effect takes first. Like, it goes through first, right? Because it plays the Uta, and then Sugar gets to choose something to rest. Because I didn't necessarily want him to rest the Uta, but it is what it is. You know, I was hoping that maybe he would just rest like the Luffy or something like that, but yeah, the effect definitely takes first or precedent on that on play, and then Sugar coming in right afterwards. But we see the 5k coming down into Nami. I know he wants me to rest that 7-cost Luffy because he has 10 drop Doflamingo. There's no way shape, or form, then I'm going to do that, though. I will just counter out of it. I don't want him to get too much value with that card. Yep, and now we will see the 10 cost, not swinging with the Nami because he knows that I'm going up to 10 Dawn. I have to leave these 3 rested, unfortunately, but this is fine. This gives me a little bit of time to build up my board. I want to get guild down anyways. I could also do another 7 cost Luffy, but I'm just kind of considering whether like trying to match him for the 10 drop is the play, but I don't think so. It just felt like in the moment I want him to believe that I don't have it. So we do just go Buena for 1, and I do end up bottom decking 2 sugars and a 10 cost Dofi here. A little bit unfortunate, but picking up the Brook as well as an event. It looked like a spider's web that we got bottom decked. Now, with 9 Dawn remaining, I think that we're more than likely just going to play Guild. Yeah, we're just going to play Guild as well as... oh, Brook. Okay, I thought we were going to play Uta. But we decided to play Brook instead. And I'll just go ahead and pass it over. I've got 3 life, so I'm looking pretty healthy here. You know, he can just swing into a lot of my stuff. He also could just play another 10 cost. Another 10 cost does end up freezing up that Uta and that Nami as well, yet again. But he's going to go 5 into the Uta. I'm considering whether I want to defend it at all, simply because I don't really want him to play 10 drop all that much. But 10 into the Nami, I know that he was really hoping that I would rest the Luffy and then maybe like counter out to save it. But now that I have Guild online, I'm not super threatened by that. I feel like I'm kind of fine here. But he does pick up a 2k counter off that Nami search. I will just go ahead and take the hit, not giving him any rests. I feel like just giving him that option will make that 10 cost even more, you know, even more opportunistic. But actually, now that I think about it, he paid the 1 with the Nami, so we could have rested. We actually could have rested the Luffy there. It wouldn't have been the end of the world. But he does play Queen into Uta. Very nice, and I know he's feeling pretty good about that. Now is the time that we can get our 10 cost down, though, and start swinging with Guild, get a little bit of card draw. Yep, we'll freeze up those 3, and I'll swing 6, more than likely at life, just doing the Dawn -2, get some of that card draw. We pick up a 2k counter and a blocker, so not bad at all. He does rest the Brook using the Uta and then counters out. I know what he's shooting for here. He's shooting for, you know, playing another 10 cost if he's going to use the Uta, but I'm trying to think if it's even relevant for me to not swing with the 10 cost Doflamingo. But I'll just go 5 into the Uta. He does block, and then I'll go 7 into the Uta. I said, you know what? I don't care. I got multiple counters in hand. I've got a lot of card draw, and I think I'm looking good. You know, we do save. Yeah, we do end up saving the... he ends up saving the Uta, but I'm like, yep, there's the 10 cost. Yeah, so he goes with the 3 on board and doesn't freeze up the leader. And now we're more than likely just going to see 10 coming at, yeah, Guild. But he did just play that, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So I think we might just pass. Yeah, he just passes here. Oh, we pick up a sugar, though. Sugar's a really nice option here. Getting rid of Uta entirely. But considering I can't restand anything, it doesn't feel like sugar is necessary. I think we just go 10 cost again into his 3 rested. I'm just trying to think, like, am I going life? And should I be going with leader first? So I'll go 5 with lead first. And then I choose to go 10. I don't know. I think I went 10 life here. I did, rather than going 10 at the queen. Since he rested it, I'm pretty happy about that. I'll just freeze those 3 and pass it over. So leader does get to restand, but we are still up on the cards in hand at the moment. And yeah, I'm feeling all right about that. I'm feeling all right. 2 life, though, is a little bit of a scary spot to be in. He has some options here. You know, whether he tries to go for board clear or whether he tries to, you know, manage some of that life down a little bit. 5 at the Brook. I could easily counter out of it. Not sure if I really want to, though. Is it necessary? Are we potentially going to see a third 10 drop coming down? you know, that would be one of my swings going away in the following turn, if so. So it's, you know, I don't think that he would do that, though, considering he's only got one active blocker at the moment. He would have to get rid of the Nami. It feels more likely that we'll end up seeing like a 7-cost Luffy. We haven't seen one all game yet, though, so 13k. I think this was at the guild, I believe. It might have been at the guild, or it might have been at the Luffy. I'm not entirely sure, but 13k is no laughing matter. He's trying to get some cards out of my hand, and he's doing a pretty dang good job because I'm doing it. I am going to restand the Luffy with Spider's Web. I'll go a 2k and a 1k, though, just to save it. And we do see a 7-cost Luffy coming down, trashing the Nami, and putting down another Uta. So 3 blockers to get through. He's got a lot on board, but we are able to restand all of our cards. I am going to use Sugar to rest one of the Utas at least. The 7-cost Luffy is at the top of the board. It's a little out of frame, but, you know, you get the idea. I'm seeing if I can bait him into potentially taking, you know, or resting the Luffy here, but, you know, obviously with us having 2 of the 10 costs, he's definitely not going to do that. You know, Anthony knows what he's doing here, and we're just going to go 10 at life with the first Doflamingo. Kind of want to see what he's got in store, what his idea is here. Is he willing to take this, or is he trying to, I don't know, potentially block out of it? And it looks like he is going to. We'll see the Uta Dawn -1 resting the Sugar. Sugar's effect is pretty dang nice, though, because it doesn't matter whether it's rested or not. Oh, and then I decide to swing 10, but then I'm like, no, hold on. This is a bit of a tricky situation now I think about it. I was like, I have to think about you, because I was going to go life, right? I was going to go life. And then I thought about it, and I was like, no, with the amount of swings that you have, there is actually a potential that you have lethal the following turn. I do have quite a lot of counters in hand, but I gotta play this smart. So I decide to go for an 8k swing into the Uta, I believe with leader, trying to get him to rest his Luffy, because I just wanted to get the Luffy off the board so that it at least got rid of like 2k power, right? But it became kind of a tough call, because he does just that. He rests the Luffy and counters out for 2k. If I believe he does right here at the end. And now I have to think, okay, do I want to, he's only got 1 card in hand. Do I want to get rid of the Luffy, or do I want to get rid of the Uta? And because I know that the Uta on the following turn will be pretty annoying, especially if he draws into some blockers. But I mean, that's got to be the top deck of the century right there. I also could go into the 10-drop Doflamingo, but I didn't know if he had counter power or not, and I wanted to save 4 for the event, so I just decided to go for the Luffy, call it a day. And now he's got 10 Dawn, but only 2 cards in hand. I have no blockers with 4 Dawn active. It's looking like I don't know. It's going to come down to being a pretty close match. And yeah, he's situating his Dawn. He's trying to think, all right, what's the best way that I can attempt to go for game here? And with, I think it's 7 cards in hand, 2 of them he's assuming are events. That's a pretty tough call. Pretty tough call. But looking it over, I think he's looking at something like 9, 9, 11, 11, right? So as long as I can get out of 2 9s, we should be fine. We do see a 9 coming in here. I guess arguably I could have just taken this. I probably should have just taken this, if I'm being honest. I think I went about this in a very weird way, but I didn't want to risk it. So I went Spider's Web and restand one of the Dofis, and then a 2k counter chopper to get out of the first 9k swing. And now he knows that he's only got like 6 Dawn left. He has to get 3 swings through, and that's all he has left. So I actually kind of gave him an out here. I don't know. Well, I don't know if I would necessarily call it an out, but a way to potentially try and defend himself if he's able to get rid of one of the some of my lower cost cards. He would be able to play another blocker, and if I don't have like a way to rest, you know, Uta, or actually, excuse me, if he plays another blocker, then Sugar's just gonna rest the other Uta. So either way, it just kind of works out for us. We're in a pretty good spot. Yeah. I just think that maybe kind of baiting him with the by taking the life probably was the better way to go for the to like solidify the win here, because it kind of extends the match, you know, giving thought to, okay, how is this gonna work, you know, what's the best way to go about this. But he does go 10k at the guild here. I don't know why, but I'm pretty certain I countered out of this. I think that there was just no need at all, like, whatsoever to counter out of this. I think we just let the guild go. Like, we're up in cards. There's no need to go down for him not having, like, implied any, you know, dawn to this Doflamingo. I think it was a little bit of an overstretch on my part, but we do try going Thunder Bagua and Chopper. I do add the rest of Dawn, even though it's kind of irrelevant at this point. With 6 Dawn, though, he does go Guild, and yeah, I was just letting the Guild go first before I used Chopper, but then he swung 10 really quickly, and I was like, oh wait, Sugar should rest the Uta. Yeah, and so now we don't have one Uta to deal with, but he did pick up another Uta off the Buena, but should be pretty irrelevant now. We have 2 10-cost Doflamingos, as well as Brook and our leader to swing with. Now, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I don't know what I was doing here. I just swung 10 cost, and I even said it afterwards to him. I was like, wow, I totally forgot to swing with Brook first. Not relevant, though. We swing 10, and then we would have swung 15 with leader. Does turn out to be a pretty good game. Pretty fun, nonetheless. And yeah, he was like, man, I only saw one 7-cost Luffy the whole game. And I was like, yeah, that's the hard part about the mirror, is you really do have to kind of see your pieces in order to, like, have that, you know, have a decent chance at some of the late game. But hope you guys enjoyed the match, and yeah, on to the next one tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.